Shalom everybody, this is Watchman Alexander coming to you just quickly to let you know about the recommended resources page on my website. There's a new page, it's been there for a little while, the link has been up top, but if you try clicking on it, you wouldn't be able to get into it because it's been locked. But it's now unlocked. I've gotten all the links that I need in there and in the descriptions and it's ready to go. So I wanted to let you know so that you can check it out and see if there's anything there that you think you might need. This stuff is all stuff that I have personally used and benefited from. So there's nothing on there that I'm just trying to sell because there's a big price point on it or something like that. That's not it. They are affiliate links on there. So if you buy anything through my site, I'm going to get a percentage of the sale, a commission for each item that's purchased. That would definitely help me out. So please consider buying these things through my site rather than going straight to the your normal retailer. Instead, go through the links on my site and I'll get a portion of that, and I really appreciate it. But these are things that I think that you're going to like, that you're going to benefit from just like I have. I'm not just throwing stuff out there to make sales. So let me show you a couple of things. There's a lot of stuff there. It's in 4 categories. I've got books and videos, and then health related products and survival related products. So there's stuff in each of those categories, but I am going to be updating that in the future. I'm going to be adding things as I try new things and find that I like them a lot. I'll be adding them to that page. So go back every now and then and just see whether or not I've put new stuff up there. But let me show you a couple of the things. One of them is this Versa. It's the Eco Zoom Versa. Zoom Versa is the particular model that I like. It's a rocket stove that is small and light enough to be portable. So you can use this at home, or you can take it with you if you're on a trip, maybe put it on the back of your bike if you're going camping, or in your car if you still have, Now, let me stop there. We are coming into a portion of history that is going to be very upsetting. It's going to be very cataclysmic in many ways. There's a lot of war and famine and economic collapse that's going to happen before we get to the end of the age. We've got a little while before we get there, and there's some stuff that we have to go through first. This is what Bible prophecy says. It's not because I want it to happen. I'm not telling you this in the hopes that it will happen, but the Bible is trustworthy. God's word is sure, and so we know that these things are going to happen before the end. We need to take that seriously. We need to be preparing for that. So buying all kinds of stuff like dried food, I have that on my resources page. But you can have lots of food and water, but if you don't have a way to cook your food, you're out of luck, because there's a lot of food that needs to be cooked to be edible or tasty. So get one of these, because you're not always going to be able to build a whole fire in your fireplace or a fire pit. That takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of wood. You have to split the wood, go get the firewood. First of all, you have to split it. If it's fresh, it's not going to work. It has to have dried out. It has to have seasoned. So that's not always practical. There are times when you may be able to use an alcohol stove or a propane stove more efficiently. That's great. Have that too. I have an alcohol stove, and I have fuel tablets for a different type of stove. And that stuff is really light, so it's great to put in your backpack. But you're not always going to have fuel for those things. You're going to run out eventually, and you're not always going to want to, sometimes you're going to want to make bigger meals or cook larger amounts of food or boil larger amounts of water. So you want something that's a little bit bigger, but not full-size fire kind of big. So this is the in-between, and this thing, I think, is going to be indispensable during any sort of economic downturn or emergency situation. It's a rocket stove, so you just put in twigs and branches and small pieces of wood into the bottom of this thing, and it shoots the fire up to the top where your pots and pans will be sitting. It's just such a great invention. It doesn't cost that much, and it's durable. This company is a good company, EcoZoom. This thing will provide you with about 13,000 hours of cooking time. There's some stats on the side here. Tells you about the product. That's a lot of cooking time. I mean, you're probably never going to wear this thing out. And you don't have to have big pieces of firewood, which you're not always going to have. So you can just go get twigs and branches. You can snap them with your hands if you don't have an axe with you. It's much easier to make food on a daily basis with that thing than it is to keep trying to build big fires. Another thing I want to show you, and this is in a different category, this is in the health category, is Garden of Life probiotics. So I think it's very important that we take care of our bodies. I take care of mine. I want you to exercise. I want you to eat right. I want you to maximize what God has given you, because this body is important. He's given it to us as the vehicle that we drive the whole time that we're in this life. Yes, we'll get a new one later, but that's no excuse for treating this one badly. The way that you feel absolutely affects the way that you can do God's will in your life. You need to feel good. You need to have energy. You need to not be continually struggling with medical problems, because those things take up money and time in a big way. So you need to feel good and be operating at your best. And in order to do that, like I said, there's some things like exercise and right eating that need to be normal for you. But in addition to that, we need some supplements. And mostly we need supplements because the food that we get these days is not that great. It lacks nutrients, and it lacks a lot of the things like homeostatic soil organisms that we would be getting from food that was grown in a really rich soil, that was grown in a good environment. But unfortunately, we're so late in the age, and mankind has done so much damage to the environment and to the ground, that what we get in our food is paltry compared to what people used to get. It used to be you could eat less food and get more nutrients. Now you've got to eat way more food, which means way more calories to get the same amount of nutrients, and that's just not practical. We can't afford that. We don't want that many macronutrients. We don't want all those calories that will make us fat, that will put fat in our bodies, but yet not get all the nutrients that we should be getting. So we need another way to get the stuff that we're lacking, especially the microbes and the little organisms that come to us from the soil that our food is grown in, that we're not really getting enough of. So Garden of Life is an excellent brand that makes all kinds of different probiotics and supplements. And this one is a green superfood that has probiotics in it. But you can also just get capsules that have the probiotics as well as homeostatic soil organisms, all shelf stable in a capsule that you don't even have to put in the refrigerator. Garden of Life is one of the only companies that makes that kind of product, so I really highly recommend them. The gut flora that you build for yourself is one of the most important components of health. What's going on in your digestive system, we call it the gut flora, is probably the biggest key to your health, your immune system, and your energy level. The gut is super important, and it's connected to the brain in ways that we're still learning about, but it's basically like a second brain. I mean, it's that important, and there's a lot that goes on in terms of processing emotions and thoughts that happens in your gut. So take care of your gut, get supplements like this, and that's going to go a long way towards keeping you healthy. All right, so that's about, let me put that down. That's about enough out of me right now, but I just wanted you to know about this page. Please go check it out, see if there's anything there that you like. And anytime you click on an Amazon link, not only will I get a commission for that particular product, but if you buy within, I think it's about 72 hours, anything that's in your cart, I will get a portion of that from Amazon. So if you're going to order other stuff, it would benefit me a lot if you would not only get the product that I recommend, but if there's other stuff you need at the same time, put that in your cart too. And when you check out, I'm going to get some of all of that. Thank you guys for helping me out, and I really hope that this stuff helps you too. I think it will. All right, shalom.